What's the matter, David?
I'm taking a shortcut before. Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on this video. This was a really long video, as you can see. Me and Aiden were going over some of the best films made in Canada, and this took a while. There's an echo going on throughout most of this video, and we apologize for that. If you don't want to go through all that, here's the list of films we determined to be the best shot in each province. Make sure to go check out these films, as we will have a more concise and entertaining video for the next episode of this. Alright, thank you.
Done. Okay. Hello guys, welcome back to a special episode of the GBDENG podcast. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, Aiden Billing. I run GBD Reviews on Instagram. This is Daniel. I'm going to let you introduce yourself here because I do that way too much.
I'm Daniel. I run the YouTube channel Reviewing, even though I haven't posted in 2 weeks, but I still run it technically, you know.
Yeah, if you guys are seeing this, please give this man some love. Follow this guy. Yeah, YouTube's algorithm is fucking him over right now. Excuse my language, but you know. That's what's happening.
Only my Oscar predictions are getting more than 100 views, so you know.
It's messed up, man.
Guess I'll just have to keep doing those for the rest of my life until I get something big going.
It's a slow grind, man. It's a slow grind, like a stripper at a strip club on a guy.
For sure. Can't expect fame within like 2 months or even a year. So let's keep going.
Well, for me, it comes naturally. Sorry,
you know, technically, I think my one Oscar video technically has more views than almost all of your reviews combined. So you know, I don't know if I'd say that.
I don't know if that's true anymore. Actually, all of my reviews.
That might not be accurate. We'd have to check, but we won't waste time with that. Let's get into our little special episode thing here. So I had the idea. I was looking at some movies that made in Canada, because there aren't a lot that are based in Canada. There's not a lot of stories that are mainstream about Toronto, Vancouver, or any, like, those are the two biggest cities, or anywhere else in Canada, really. So I decided that we should take a look at some of the best movies that have been filmed in Canada. Not all of them are necessarily portraying a place of Canada. A lot of them, in fact, are portraying places like Chicago, Washington, New York, Seattle. I think those are the most frequent. Also Los Angeles. Sometimes even like places in Europe and Asia. Yeah.
I thought it was cheap to film in Los Angeles. What the hell? That's why so many movies are filmed there.
Yeah, but sometimes a couple times Canada's been Los Angeles in movies.
I can't imagine that. That just sounds weird, but I mean...
It does sound kind of weird, but I don't know, tax reasons, I guess. Anyway, so I decided to make a bracket. So I made 4 divisions. First I have... We'll do the... Alright, why did I put peak? Anyways. I wrote something weird down. We got the Ontario bracket. This is only... So I put 32 movies down for this. These are movies that have been filmed in Ontario. Most of them have been shot in specifically Toronto, being the big city. But a few of them have also been shot in different places like Hamilton and other parts of the GTA, as well as a couple of small towns up north. So let's get into the first half of the bracket. So this is the 16th side of the bracket. I don't know how easy that is to see.
Oh my god, but that is huge.
It's pretty, we'll get into the first half. So the first one is Scott Pilgrim, which I ranked the seeds based on my preferences. We'll figure that out later. And 16th seed, American Pie: The Naked Mile. So the reason I included that movie specifically is because it was filmed at Core Credit Art School. I think, oh, you did know that. So yeah, that's why I included it. I'll mention the 2 other films that apparently some of the parts of the Trial of Chicago 7 were shot in Toronto. So I didn't include that because it was sort of on the vent, like there wasn't a lot of information whether it was confirmed, and it probably was only a small part, so I include part of it, as well as a movie that was mostly shot in Toronto, but I didn't think was really worth putting on the list, was Suicide Squad.
Yeah, good call, yeah.
Even though there are probably some movies here that are worse than Suicide Squad. Anyways,
it's okay.
We'll get into movie. I think this is the reason, so I just wanted to mention American Pie: Naked Mile because it was filmed at a school, but I'm pretty sure both of us... You've seen Scott Pilgrim, right?
Oh yeah, no, I've seen it. Like they do a really good job at.
Like, we'll go into it more when we get to the more decisive matchups. But I think we can both safely say that Scott Pilgrim is better than American Pie, so I'll put it to the next.
Yeah, considering American Pie was direct to DVD.
It was. They started making money off that. All right, we got the 8 versus 9 matchup. So we got The Virgin Suicides, directed by Sofia Coppola. This is a movie I have watched. And then we have Crimson Peak, directed by Guillermo del Toro. There's going to be a lot of films I think I haven't watched. I think a good amount that you haven't either. Have you watched either of these, though?
I've only seen Crimson Peak. I haven't seen The Virgin Suicides.
Okay, so I am the opposite of that. I've seen Virgin Suicides and I've not seen Crimson Peak.
I gotta say, Crimson Peak is just weird, man. It's like one of those horror movies that it's a creature feature, right? You know, you got all these weird ghosts with long fingers, you know? That's kind of what he's known for, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. So if you had to give that a rating, what would you give it?
I mean, it was good, but I think the main draw was just like all the creatures and stuff. There isn't a lot of stuff besides that. It was an okay story, you know.
Okay.
But it was like a gothic horror. It was like a love letter to that sort of genre, right? But
yeah,
I'd probably give it like a 6. Something. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Virgin Suicides. This might be my least favorite Sofia Coppola film, potentially. It's her directorial debut, and I think it's very impressive. It's Detroit. It takes place in Detroit, Michigan. So Toronto is playing Detroit, Michigan. That movie. A lot of small-budget films often go to Toronto and to Canada, Vancouver as well, when they have especially a lot of indie films when they have a low budget because tax reasons. I would probably give that film a 7 out of 10. I think it's a very solid. It defined her style very well. I think it's a solid story. It just doesn't really have anything like that I want to really watch again. It's not a film I consider really watching again. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, well, I guess that decides it then. Yeah, Virgin Suicides moves on.
All right, let's do that then.
Yeah. I'll have to watch that. That sounds interesting.
And personally, I don't think I'd really I'm not the biggest fan of horror/creature movies, so I don't think I'd put Crimson Peak over it. Next, we have Chicago, the Best Picture winner, which was filmed in Toronto, actually. And then Fahrenheit 451, the movie adaptation that I think went directly to HBO. It's like a TV movie.
I actually have seen Fahrenheit 451. I've seen Chicago. Fahrenheit 451, the movie, is garbage. It strays from the source material so much, and I think we can both agree that it's Chicago that moves on.
Yeah. I think we can. I haven't seen either of them. I'm definitely taking your word on that. I mean, the Best Picture winner better be better than like an HBO direct-to-TV kind of movie.
Yeah, of course.
Next, we have American Psycho. I've seen this movie, and then versus the Saw franchise. Kind of a fitting sort of pairing.
I mean,
it's not. To be specific, it's not the entire Saw franchise. It's specifically, I think, about 2 to 7, 2 to 6 or so that was shot in Toronto. Not the first one, and I don't think any of the new ones like Jigsaw or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the. I've seen American Psycho. I haven't seen any of the Saw movies. I give American Psycho like a 7 out of 10. Like I said, it's more of a horror thriller movie. And while I appreciate,
it's a bit of a satire as well.
It is a bit of satire. It is a bit of satire for sure.
Yeah.
And while I normally like satires, I don't think this one was my favorite. I definitely say it's still a very solid movie, and I can see why a lot of people like it. Christian Bale is very good in it. I give it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know what.
Honestly, me and my brother, we love watching this movie together because, like, I don't know, like I talked about this a little bit in like our last video where I think we briefly mentioned like The Wolf of Wall Street, and like he loves like seeing all these corporate guys do corporate shit, you know, like he thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. I don't know why, but it's amusing to watch him, you know, go ape shit over that. But I'd say it's definitely better than the Saw movies. I mean, like, the Saw movies, their main emphasis is obviously shock value, right? They just want to shock you with all the gore. I think the first movie is obviously the best one because it has the more cohesive story, even with the low budget. But I mean, like, it's nice to see where, like, you know, that was James Wan's like first movie that he directed, and he got like. It made like a ton of money. I mean, like it kickstarted his career, so it has some significance. But I think American Psycho has the edge there. So I mean, I think we should let that one move on.
Yep, it is. So we currently still haven't everything I've seeded higher. We've put ahead.
Yeah.
So I think this is a category where I haven't even seen either of them. I think you've probably seen one of them. We have Black Christmas and Kick-Ass. Which of those?
I've seen Kick-Ass actually. Oh wait, which Black Christmas is it though? Is it the remake or the original?
The original, I believe.
Okay. Well, I have heard a little bit about Black Christmas. I heard it was an interesting film, but I gotta say, I think Kick-Ass is a great, you know, it's a great satirization of like, you know, superhero films and like, you know, superhero film genre. It's a bit like, It's a bit like Deadpool, where except nobody has superpowers, you know.
Right.
But the humor is like it's pretty well done. The action sequence is also well done. This is done by Matthew Vaughn. I think we talked a little about him in previous episodes. Like he's gone on to do the Kingsman movie, so he knows his way around action scenes. Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
for sure.
Have you seen Black Christmas though?
I haven't. So I've heard a lot of good things about it. Like I said, not the biggest horror movie guy. It's a horror movie. So I haven't seen Kick-Ass either. Like I haven't got. I'll probably eventually watch it, but I haven't got Deadpool and stuff like that. Hasn't been the top of my watch list. But
yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think considering like Kick-Ass is the one I've only seen, I think it makes sense to give it the edge there, you know.
Yeah, for sure. There's our first upset. It's probably I don't know. Black Christmas. We'll definitely have to update that. We might be definitely doing a disservice, I think. But let's move on. This is a film I've only seen one of the two we're doing next. We got this third seed, Good Will Hunting, the 14th seed, The F Word. So it's also known as What If because the MPAA didn't like the F word as a title for a PG-13 movie. It stars Daniel Radcliffe and oh man, I cannot remember her name. The girl from The Big Sick and Buster Scruggs. I don't know if you know Zoe something. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if I can remember her name actually, but I know the person you're talking about. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, and then Good Will Hunting, of course, the Best Original Screenplay winner.
Yeah.
Starring Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Casey Affleck. I just mentioned him, even though he wasn't a big part of the movie, and of course, the great Robin Wright.
Robin Williams. Oh my god.
I've been watching too much House of Cards. That's what I blame it on.
It's okay.
Yeah, Robin Williams, and their names are similar enough. Still, both Robin W's. Anyways, which of these films have you seen? I
didn't know it was filmed in Toronto. I mean, I've seen Good Will Hunting. I actually watched it in Boston. You know, like it was when I went there on vacation. It was pretty surreal. You know, it was also the first time I saw it. It's definitely a cultural landmark. You know, all the quotable lines. You know, how do you like them apples for one? I mean. Yeah, greatest movie one of the greatest movie insults probably. I don't know what you think. I actually haven't seen The F Word. Have you though? I mean, like, have you seen either of those films?
I've seen Good Will Hunting. To clarify, it was about like a half to closer to 30% of this movie was shot there because all the interior shots were done in Canada. Most of the outside work was done in Boston.
Okay, well that would make sense actually because I was gonna say it would be pretty hard to make Toronto look like Boston. I mean, like they're two completely different cities to be honest, architecturally wise. So yeah. Okay, well I mean like. I think it's obvious which one moves on here. You know, I don't know about you.
Good Will Hunting for sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I give it about an 8 out of 10 though. I don't know what about you.
No, me too. I'd agree with that assessment. Yeah, considering this was like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's first movie they ever wrote. They were like fresh out of college. I think it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is pretty impressive. Shows
they got a seasoned director like Gus Van Sant to work with them as well. I think that's also
it's probably Gus Van Sant's best movie. I haven't seen his other ones. I shouldn't say that, but we'll see. Next matchup is probably the closest one I think on this list: X-Men and Pacific Rim. I haven't visited these films in a while. I think I've seen them both inevitably like some around. I don't remember a ton about them, but Aiden, I'm gonna mostly leave this up to you because I think they're more fresh in your memory.
I've seen both these movies. Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, I actually didn't know the first X-Men film was filmed in Toronto. I mean, like, I guess it kind of makes sense, you know. I mean, like, they didn't have a lot. 20th Century Fox probably didn't have a lot of faith in this property, right? Because you know, like, I don't think they had really done very many Marvel movies before that, and like the only ones that came out were massive failures, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, I did love the first X-Men movie. Having said that, I love Pacific Rim. I have that on Blu-ray with the holographic cover. It looks amazing, and I don't know. It's like I remember seeing that in the theater when I was like 10 years old. It was the coolest thing ever. I mean, like, it's so dumb, but at the same time, it's just so much fun. I mean, like, you can't exactly really hate it, you know? I mean, like, I wish they didn't make a sequel. If they were going to make one, it should have been good. But, I mean, this is the toughest one, I think. I mean, like, because I really like both of these movies. But, I mean, like, if I'd had to give one the edge, I think it'd probably have to be Pacific Rim, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah. My friend also watched this recently on his birthday, and he said he liked it. So.
Oh, would that be Jason?
No, it wasn't Jason.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was gonna say because Jason, he has a
Yeah.
bunch of Pacific Rim like action figures and stuff on his wall. It's pretty sick.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Last matchup we have The Shape of Water, another Best Picture winner filmed in the Toronto area, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Apparently, some of that was shot in Toronto, Ontario area. I don't know how much of it. Maybe
Wait, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's the one with
the
Johnny
remake,
Depp, right?
the remake,
Yeah.
the Johnny Depp version. Yeah, just to clarify. It's pretty obvious for me. I've watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory probably more times than I've wanted to. The remake, I don't know if I've even seen the original. I've seen the remake at least 3 times though. I don't know. It just keeps playing.
Dude, me too. Honestly, like I unfortunately own that on DVD. I don't know why I have it, but like I watched it a bunch of times. But it's so weird and dark. And I guess it's Tim Burton, but I mean, like it got positive reviews when it came out, but over time, people have slowly started to hate it. Yeah,
that's kind of weird.
Like it's sitting at 85 on Rotten Tomatoes with an average score of like 6 or 7 out of 10, something like that. I don't know. It seems a bit weird. So, like this is what makes me like have distrust in the tomato meter. Sometimes.
Tomato meter is I disregard it almost every time.
Metacritic is probably the better one, to be honest. I don't know if you know.
It's definitely. I always go to Letterboxd. It's a website I think you should definitely get on.
I know
Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I love Uwe like reviews he does on there. Those are hilarious. I don't know if you've ever seen those. But
there's always funny stuff being posted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I guess it's settled. Shape
of Water. What would you give Shape of Water?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely a quirky concept. But I mean, like I don't know. Maybe I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's pretty solid. You know, I enjoyed watching it, but I do remember being very uncomfortable with my family when the whole fish banging scene came on.
Yeah. It's probably not the best. It's a weird film to probably watch with people because, like, fish banging movie.
Yeah.
Grinding Nemo.
That's a good one. I like that.
I stole that from the comments of an honest trailer, I'm pretty sure.
Fantastic.
Anyways. Alright, let's move on to the next category. Before that, actually, I wanted to ask you, do you think Shape of Water deserved its win?
I mean, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, like, what were the other movies up for Best Picture that year? Do you remember?
Get Out, Lady Bird, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Okay. You see, I mean, like, I guess yes and no. I mean, like, it's a hard one because I like Get Out more, to be honest. I thought it was a great horror film, but it's really hard for horror films to, like, you know, win an Oscar. I don't think they've
100%.
Yeah.
No, they haven't.
Yeah.
This was like the first fantasy movie to ever win Best Picture.
Well, no, actually, Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King.
Won it. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe it was sci-fi. I don't know.
It's one of those, yeah. It's okay.
Something of that nature. Anyways. I don't know. I'd give it probably to Lady Bird. I love Lady Bird. I think it's pretty much a perfect movie. Like, it goes into the tropes of a high school movie, but at the same time, it's just so fresh and original. It's, like, almost impossible what they did. It's, like, the same with, I think, with, like, the thriller mystery genre. You always kind of have to reveal that the killer is someone you already know, or otherwise it's unsatisfying. And which kind of restricts what you're able to do in surprising the audience. So like something like Prisoners, I think almost perfects it because it's so well shot, so well acted, very well written, and it just all comes together. But it's still kind of restricted by it being a mystery thriller. It's like you can't do too much, you can't leave it too like vague or else
I got you, don't worry.
Won't get it. I think it's the same with these like those kinds of movies. Anyways, we're getting a little off track. Let's move on.
No,
there's still other half of this bracket. We got Scott Pilgrim and the Virgin Suicide. So I didn't ask before, but what would you give Scott Pilgrim out of 10? If you had to.
I mean, I'd probably give it like a 6.5, only because I didn't like the ending. I thought the ending shouldn't have him been going back to Ramona. Like I actually got physically angry seeing that. Like I liked it up until then. I was just like, why? You guys are like not meant for each other. And Knives is like, I know she's a high school student. It's not really, socially acceptable, but at the same time, you guys were way better together. It just it seems a little bit. Yeah, and Ramona's also like a bit of a dick, and then Scott's a bit of a dick. I just didn't think that would work out, And then,
I mean, I have a very strong love for this movie. I think I love Edgar Wright. I think this is him at his most creative, especially with the transitions. The transitions in this movie are insane. They literally deleted one with like a bus door closing, and that's one that's deleted. It's just telling you what kind of quality they had for the rest of the film. And I'm not like the plot obviously isn't the strongest thing in the world, but I don't think that's really the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Entirely, there are some like things that, but like it's so like the one-liners are great. It's I don't know. It's almost a perfect movie for me personally. I'd give it 9 to 9.5 out, maybe potentially 10 out of 10 because I think it's so rewatchable as well.
All right, well, I mean, like, yeah, if that's what you want to give it, that's totally fine. I mean, but you've seen The Virgin Suicide, so how does it stack up against that?
I would definitely give it to Scott Pilgrim for sure. It's a much more well-crafted piece of work. It was clear Sofia Coppola definitely had more evolving to do, and I think she definitely did that in Lost in Translation, but The Virgin Suicides was a little bit of a miss. Acting's pretty good though. I'll say that. The story was I wouldn't pick that as source material. It was based on the book. But anyways, let's move on to Scott Pilgrim.
Alright, sounds good.
I think this might be another hard matchup. Chicago and American Psycho. So you've seen both of these, right? I've only seen American Psycho. I'm definitely going to give you more gravitas in this decision, but what would your personal decision be?
Okay, well, I mean, you see, this is the thing, because I mean, like, American Psycho was a very polarizing film when it came out, and Chicago has been a polarizing film much longer after it came out. It's suffered like the kind of the same fate that films like, you know, Avatar or like maybe Green Book, but like have suffered like after winning Best Picture. Right. Critics have done a lot of reevaluating and suggesting maybe they're not as good as they were when they came out. Right. So I mean, but I think start to finish, like Chicago is the more cohesive narrative. I think like American Psycho can be a little bit, it gets really messy near the end and it's a bit hard to follow, but I mean, the humor is also really good, so this, yeah, you're right, this is a pretty tough one for me, but if I had to pick a gun point, I'd probably give it to Chicago, unfortunately, so.
Alright.
I do love American Psycho, though. That's like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I agree with that. I haven't seen Chicago. I didn't love American Psycho. I did skip some parts because I just wasn't in the mood. But we'll see. Alright, let's move on to the next one. We got Kick-Ass and Good Will Hunting. For me, this is no-brainer.
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah,
we don't need to spend any more time on that. Good Will Hunting, such a heartfelt, such a great performance by Robin Williams. I didn't get that wrong this time.
You got it.
And he's just given great monologues. They're amazing. That's definitely the highlight of the film. Alright, after that we got Pacific Rim and Shape of Water.
As much as I love Pacific Rim, and it's funny that 2 Guillermo del Toro films are in here, but I gotta say, it's probably gotta be The Shape of Water. I mean, like, yeah. Unfortunately,
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Probably based on what I know. Yeah. The thing is, Guillermo del Toro, I think, is the most frequent director who shot in Canada.
Oh yeah, I think he owns a house in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he lives here a lot of the time.
I look at like all of his lists, and there's like a ton of stuff. There's a couple things in Vancouver, a lot of stuff in Toronto. So yeah, like he was appeared 3 times in this list with Pacific Rim, Shape of Water, and Crimson Peak. So
yeah.
Anyways, I think this is where the debate really gets going. I think these next 2 bouts are the biggest ones. I think we're also opposed on all of these, potentially. Scott Pilgrim versus Chicago. So
no, I'd give it to Scott Pilgrim there.
Okay.
Honestly. I mean, like, yeah, it's just like, although like all the accolades Chicago's got, I mean, like Scott Pilgrim's just a lot more fun to watch. Honestly, I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoy it a lot more than Chicago. I think like Chicago's just. Although it was good, like at times it does feel a bit Oscar baity, and that's definitely like apparent. You know, it's a bit like for. This is love that.
This is amazing. This is great.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a freaking nerd! My God.
Yeah, it's the collector's edition. It has so much content that I'm still going through.
That's all right. Nice. Well, yeah, I guess it's decided then. Scott Pilgrim. Yeah.
Alright, Scott Pilgrim. So, from these, these are going to be the last matchups for this point, because at the end we're going to be picking 4 films from each region. We're going to, over time we're going to watch all of them, and then we'll make our final decision which is the best region, also which is the best film filmed in Canada.
I like that, yeah.
That is my idea. Alright, Good Will Hunting, Shape of Water.
Ooh, wow, this is where it starts to get interesting. Huh.
Alright.
I mean, if I had to pick, honestly, even though, like, The Shape of Water is, like, you know, it's fantastic with its, you know, creature design performances, I mean, I'd still have to give it to Good Will Hunting, honestly.
Alright. I'd have to say no to you. I personally would, at gunpoint, I would also pick Shape of Water. The first time I saw this, I thought it was one of my favorites. So for me, Good Will Hunting, I don't know, it just doesn't stick out of my mind like a lot of films. Like, Shape of Water is a lot more unique. While I think it's a great screenplay, like I said, really great monologues from Robin Williams, I think the story just didn't feel the most inspiring or captivating to me personally, or unique. And while it's very good and like it's very good, it's just not the story that particularly spoke to me. While something like The Shape of Water, you know, the fish banging movie, definitely speaks to me in a lot of different ways, because I think it's very unique in what it's doing, because it's about like a group of misfits, right? It's like a gay man who doesn't really fit, a mute woman, a black woman, right? And then a Russian spy who's not really a Russian spy, he just likes science. I think what Guillermo and Michael Shannon is very good, despite his character. Like, he makes his character like kind of pathetic and just kind of useless throughout the film, even though he's supposed to be. But at the same time, you still see him as a threat because he's in that position of power.
Yeah.
Because like he's not completely incompetent. He just kind of sucks at everything that he tries.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because he's been vicious, yet he can't be like accomplish that, right? Yeah, exactly. And I think the narrative of this film is, I think the ending probably is the worst part. Yeah. Potentially. I thought it was a little ex machina how the creature all of a sudden gets his powers, and then. But it's also just like kind of a nice fairy. I don't think this is Guillermo's best. I give that to Pan's Labyrinth. I think that's a better movie. But no, this definitely holds. If I had to pick, it would be Shape of Water. I don't know if I convinced you with that monologue. What do we do now?
We seem to be at a bit of an impasse.
We do.
Rock, paper, scissors. It's the only way I can think of.
Yeah, I mean that is.
Or we could just I don't know. How do we? I don't even know if
we could like look it up. We could pick a rating system from like an online metric, like Rotten Tomatoes or something, and then whichever one has a higher one wins. You can pick the site. I'll look at.
Okay, sounds good. That's what I shall do.
Yeah. All right.
I think I'm gonna go to Metacritic. That's probably the better one. So.
All right. We're gonna let Metacritic decide.
All right. Sounds good. God damn it! I forgot to shut off Rave. Fucking stupid app. Speaking of which, that's our sponsor for today's video. No, I'm joking. I wish. Jeez, that would be cool.
That would be
one
nice.
day. One day
we're gonna. I'm looking up Shape of Water, and we'll reveal. Okay, I'm looking up Shape of Water. You look up Good Will Hunting.
I got you, bro.
All right. Do you have it? Because I have mine.
Just about to. Good Will Hunting. It got a 70 on Metacritic.
All right, Shape of Water is an 87.
On Metacritic?
Yeah.
God damn. All right, well, I guess that's that then.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that well.
You win. Shape of Water
honestly, that was higher than I thought. I thought it'd be close to like low 80s at best.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah.
Honestly, but I guess really Shape of Water, it was good. So we're gonna give it to Shape of Water. I don't know. I might like Good Will Hunting better on rewatch, but we'll see. All right, so that's the first half of our bracket. So 2 Ontario picks will be Scott Pilgrim and Shape of Water. We still got 2 more Ontario picks to go. I have to clean up this whiteboard. That might take too long. But we'll get to that when I finish the whiteboard.
Alright, so now we're ready again for the second half of the Ontario bracket. Well, let's just dive right into it. So the first matchup I have here, the first seed, The Witch, directed by Robert Eggers, and then the 16th seed, It Takes Two, starring, what is it, the Olsen twins?
Oh.
From Full House, I believe?
Oh my god, wait, It Takes Two.
Yeah, It Takes Two.
That sounds familiar. I haven't seen it, but I heard it was bad.
I've seen part of it. The reason I saw some of it was that the camp I used to go to, they used it for the movie. So it was pretty cool seeing some of the spots showing up in the film. Yeah, so that's why I included on this list. I included some of the other stuff because, you know, they're not good movies, but they have some interesting places. Like Naked, like the American Pie one had poor credit.
Yeah.
But I think we can agree for sure The Witch is better.
Yeah, I would say so easily.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is a little closer. I don't think I've seen parts of both, but I don't think I've seen the entirety of both. We have The Incredible Hulk and Hairspray.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, The Incredible Hulk. That was like one of the first Marvel movies that came out the same year as Iron Man. I mean, like, it was okay. I didn't think it was anything really special, but I mean, it certainly wasn't bad, you know. But I kind of. But I think Hairspray got like much better reviews and like people seem to like it a bit more. So I mean, yeah, I'd say maybe we should give it to that. But it makes sense, right? Because
have you seen Hairspray?
No, I haven't seen Hairspray, but I know I know like the story takes place in like Baltimore. It's like this you know, slightly overweight girl who like, you know, wants to learn how to sing and not learn how to sing, I guess, but like be on the singing show. So yeah.
All right. I guess we'll put Hairspray ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty. Next we got Molly's Game and Blade 2, another Guillermo del Toro film. And then, of course, Molly's Game, directed and written by Aaron Sorkin.
I actually loved Molly's Game, to be honest. I thought it was it was a great directorial debut for Aaron Sorkin, to be honest. I mean, have you seen Blade 2? Like, I haven't seen Blade 2.
I haven't seen Blade 2. I've also seen Molly's Game as well.
Yeah.
From what I heard, the Blade franchise isn't the strongest. I think the second one was also worse than the first. For me, this is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I really like Molly's Game. I think the dialogue, his script. I don't like. He always does great scripts. I don't know where I'd rank this. I think this might be better than his Moneyball script. I think that might be his weakest, even though that was more of a collaboration type one.
Yeah.
But I think Molly's Game for sure is ahead of Blade.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair. Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, like, I haven't seen Blade 2, so I can't make any assumptions. But yeah. All right.
But I'm alright.
Molly's Game.
Next, we're going Molly's Game. Next, we got The Cinderella Man, starring Russell Crowe. I don't know if have you seen that?
I have heard about it. No, I haven't seen it. Okay. It's like it's a boxing movie, right?
Yes. And then we have Shazam, the 2019 film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen either. Have you seen Shazam?
I've seen Shazam. I haven't seen Cinderella Man, though. I mean, like, I thought Shazam was really fun. I mean, like, I don't know if it's better than this one. I think this one generated a lot of Academy Awards buzz at the time of its release.
I think it did, yeah.
Yeah, we may have to give it the edge, even though both of us haven't seen it. Like, yeah.
Alright, we'll do that.
Did love Shazam, though. Very fun movie. It was a good direction for DC, but, you know.
Alright, next we have Mean Girls and Harold and Kumar. Have you seen either?
I've seen both, actually. I loved Harold and Kumar. It was so funny. But I mean, like, Mean Girls is also. I think Mean Girls is probably the smarter movie, so I think we'd probably have to give it the edge there. I don't know what you think, but.
Yeah, I liked Mean Girls. I don't think it's like I can see why it's classic. I didn't love it too much. It's like a 7 out of 10 for me personally.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Harold and Kumar, but I have heard it's pretty funny. Has John Cho, one of the first like movies with Asians, like one of the more mainstream movies with Asians in it.
Yep.
So as the lead specifically, so
I got you. Yeah.
Definitely interesting movie, but I think we can agree Mean Girls goes ahead.
Yeah.
All right, next we got Room, the 2015 film directed by Lenny Abrahamson with Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay, and Foolproof that has Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my god!
Remember we watched this in law class. Remember?
I remember that. Yeah. It
was pretty silly, but I think I remember it thinking it was decently smart still.
Yeah, it felt like Sorry?
Like, compared to something like 12 Angry Men, which we also watched in a wall class, it's like, not much, right? But also, I think it was a fun time for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It felt more like an American movie. Honestly, the production value was like really good there. I mean, like I think it was cool that they got Ryan Reynolds. I mean, like I know he's Canadian, and also makes it a bit easier to get him to do the project. But still, I think it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Because he was like just becoming an A-lister at that point. So I mean, but I think it's obvious which one we were going to give the edge to.
Yeah, for sure. Room is very well directed. It's insane because they had to fit like 8 people in this like shed set along with Brie Larson, Jacob Tremblay, and they felt there was so much attention to the room's details. So I think Room is definitely the better one. The next one will probably be another toss-up. We got Spotlight, another Best Picture winner. From 2015, directed by Tom McCarthy, starring Michael Keaton, Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams. I can't remember anyone else right now. And the other film is Batman vs Superman.
Really?
So I don't think. Yeah, apparently parts of it. Definitely not even like the majority or half of it, but some of it.
Well, I think this one's obvious.
More than like 20%, but it was not good. I haven't seen it. I've seen Spotlight. Good movie. Not the best Picture winner for sure. It's like an 8 out of 10, I think.
Yep.
Alright, let's move on. I think most of those were pretty easy to pick. I think the closest one was probably Cinderella Man, Shazam.
Yeah.
For sure. Next, we got The Witch in Hairspray. So,
I think it's The Witch.
Oh, no. Yeah. We'll talk about The Witch a little more in the next round. I think this is pretty, I think we can both agree it's pretty obvious. Alright, Molly's Game and Cinderella Man. Again, we haven't seen Cinderella Man. We probably have to do a disservice and automatically put Molly's Game, considering we've both seen it and we both like it. So
you can't go wrong with Aaron Sorkin, man. He's just a smart scriptwriter, honestly. Fantastic piece of work.
Very good writer. Now I'm thinking, I think I screwed up this. What did I do here? I think I screwed up this bracket somehow. Huh. Okay. What did I do here? Oh. I missed a category. I missed one. I'll cut it eventually, but give me a sec. I think I missed a couple movies.
No worries, man.
Let's see here. Alright, yeah, I know which ones I missed. I'll just slap them on. Alright. So it turns out I forgot one. The matchup that I missed was It and the Kingsman Secret Service.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So only small parts of Kingsman. This is the one that I have the least confirmation of any of it really being shot. But there is some articles that say some of the parts were shot in Toronto. And then apparently most of it was shot in Toronto and also Port Hope.
Yeah.
And Port Hope area specifically.
Yeah.
Anyways, I haven't seen either of those, so I don't know.
I mean,
I've not seen it. No.
Yeah,
I said, I'm not the biggest fan of horror movies, so when I came out, wasn't adamant really to see it.
No, fair enough. I mean, like, it's definitely not like the best horror film out there, but I mean, like, I liked it at the time. I mean, like, because it was like actually the first horror film I'd ever like seen. Period.
The cinematographer is the most notable person from that. He did I think he's the cinematographer behind like Old Boy and The Handmaiden.
Yeah.
And also a couple other films, but I don't know. He's very good apparently.
Yeah, it's beautifully shot.
The Handmaiden, very well shot, very good movie. I don't know if he's checked that out yet, but you definitely should eventually. Anyways, so what do you think? Which one is better?
I mean, I think we can give it to It there. I mean, like, I don't know what you think, but yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen Kingsman?
It was a while ago, but I mean, like, I don't know. I think it probably had had more success. It also had like better critical rating as well. So I mean, I think it's pretty easy there. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Kingsman was a really fun movie though. I did enjoy it a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, it is the cinematographer's most like top movie. He's also doing the cinematography behind Edgar Wright's new movie, Last Night in Soho. So that's very exciting.
Oh, you don't say. Look at that.
Yeah. He also did Zombieland Double Tap. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that one. I mean, like, I think the first movie was okay in that series, but I mean, I wasn't really clamoring to see.
Apparently, the second one was not that good.
Yeah.
And then he's also doing the Uncharted movie cinematography.
That could be alright.
He's doing a lot of stuff.
Nice.
Anyways, let's get into the next round. So, Mean Girls and Room is our next matchup. For me personally, I think Room for sure is definitely
we're good.
Better on technical quality for sure.
Yeah.
Mean Girls is still very iconic, very well written. It was based on like a parent's book or something like that.
Yeah, parenting book.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So a very unique adaptation.
Definitely.
Spotlight and It. I don't know. You've seen both. I've only seen Spotlight. I'm pretty sure I would pick Spotlight almost automatically.
I would pick Spotlight too, actually. Yeah. I mean, It was fun, but I mean, like, it's not gonna be a Best Picture winner. I'm sorry. Let's be real.
Yeah. All right. Next we got. So we're in the final four. Only two can come away. The Witch and Molly's Game.
Ooh, this one's.
So if you ask me, I think The Witch is a 9 out of 10. If you ask, but for Molly's Game, I think I said this before already, but it's an 8 out of 10 for me. So I would pick The Witch.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. Actually, as much as I love Molly's Game, I think The Witch is probably the better film overall. So
The Witch is a very apparently Robert Eggers did like a ton of research when developing all the dialogue and all the atmosphere, and it's very cool that it was shot in Ontario because like I think it's almost the perfect place for that kind of forest, open field type of look that they were going for.
Yeah.
And there's some parts of it that are even funny. And I don't think that like ruins the tone of the movie either. I think like especially the ending, like when the part where the goat's like standing up.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of funny. I think that's pretty cool.
It is kind of funny actually.
Yeah, and then this movie still works very well as a horror film. The performances are very good. Especially the kids. The kids are very good. Especially like the younger boy, but not like the twins. Yeah, he was very good for like his age and performing like intense scenes like that. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he does a very good job. I will have to agree with you there. So I guess, it's moving on.
All right. Next we got Room and Spotlight.
I think it's Room.
What is your take on this? I think it is Room. Like I said, very well acted movie. Brie Larson won an Oscar for this. Jacob Tremblay probably should have got more credit because he was very good in this movie. While it's a very simple story, right? Like there's not like much you can do like cinematography wise when you're cramped in a shed for most of the movie, but they still made it very engaging, very well done, very well written. 4 Ontario films for the bracket done. We got Scott Pilgrim, Shape of Water, Room, and The Witch. All right, next we're going to get into our BC category.
Hell yeah.
The first part of our BC category. So the first matchup we got is Okja and Scary Movie.
I think it's pretty easy. I mean, like, I love Scary Movie. It's like, it's a funny movie. It's a fun movie to watch, but I mean, like, I think Okja is definitely the better film. It's pretty easy.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure it is for you too. I know
it is for me. I haven't seen Scary Movie, and I can safely assume I'm probably not going to like it more. All right, next we got War for the Planet of the Apes and Twilight, the Twilight saga.
Nope.
So like everything after the first one. I think very safely we can say War for the Planet of the Apes. There's been like a resurgence in like the online film community, especially like on Letterboxd, of people watching Twilight. I don't know why. It's just become a thing to do for fun.
Help us.
Because
I really
it's funny.
do not like those movies.
Well, because it's bad. They're doing it because it's bad, but still, it's kind of.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Next we have Deadpool and Man of Steel.
I think Deadpool's probably better. I mean, I think Man of Steel is it's okay. I mean, like, but there's definitely a lot of aspects that could have been better. Specifically, the amount of, like, I guess just mayhem that Superman led in. And a lot of people were criticizing that because, like, it was just destruction porn that Zack Snyder decided to make. As a major criticism of the film. So, Yeah, it's definitely Deadpool. 100%.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Next we got Cabin in the Woods and Hot Rod, the one with Andy Samberg.
Yeah, I know Hot Rod. It's such a stupid movie, but I mean, I think we all know which one. Cabin in the Woods is like such a smart movie. Even like that was like one of the earlier horror films like I saw. I think it was like a year after I saw it. Yeah, that was like
I think it was 2011 film.
2012, I think actually. I don't know if it was 2011.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. No, it was a great movie though.
All right, let's put Cabin in the Woods ahead. Mm-hmm. All right, next we have Wonder, the book adaptation.
Yep.
And Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Yeah, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
I heard a lot of good things about.
Same genre.
Yeah.
Children's book adaptation.
I haven't seen Wonder. I grew up on those Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies, though. I'm like they will always have a special place in my heart, right? Just because they were.
Yeah.
But like, as critical reception, right? Like Wonder got way better reviews, and I mean, like I think it saw a little bit more success. So I mean, like,
for sure.
I think it's gotta be Wonder. Sorry, Roger.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love me some Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah.
But Wonder, while the movie adaptation isn't the best thing in the world, it has Jacob Tremblay and Noah Jupe, two very talented young actors. Julia Roberts, Owen Wilson, not saying wow, which is apparently a crime to humanity.
Yeah, she's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. But no, Wonder's a very good book, and I think this movie does capture some of that magic.
All right.
For sure.
Nice.
Next we have Elf, the Jon Favreau movie, and X-Men Last Stand.
Yeah, this one's a no-brainer. X-Men The Last Stand was bloody disappointing, honestly. It was
okay.
It was too short, but somehow still felt too long, and it was just jam-packed with too much stuff. It was like, it's the Spider-Man 3 of the X-Men movies, you know?
Right.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, X-Men Dark Phoenix is infinitely worse, but, you know, I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one was kind of the beginning of the end, you know, for the franchise. It felt like, you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So. Yeah. Well, I totally forgot what we were talking about. X-Men First Last Stand and Elf. So we're putting Elf ahead.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna put Elf ahead. Next we have.
I didn't know it was shot in Vancouver or BC. I thought it was like actually filmed in New York, but I mean, it's good to know.
Yeah. Apparently a good amount of it was shot in Vancouver. Next we have Ted. Apparently not much of this movie was shot in Toronto, though. I'll add that. And Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. So I haven't seen either of these. Aiden, I think this is up to you again.
I mean, wait, Ted was shot in Vancouver, really?
A little bit of it. Most of it was shot in Boston, but apparently a tiny bit was shot in Toronto. Or, sorry, not Toronto, Vancouver area.
Jeez, you're tired, buddy. You should go to sleep.
I am. Yeah, my brain's not active. I need to...
Yeah. See, guys, this is what...
Do something to wake my mind up.
Yeah. At least you'll have a spare next quad. That's good. But anyways, I mean...
Yeah. I'll be fine.
I think I may have to give the edge to... And the other one you said was... Sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I don't know. Ted and Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol.
Oh, it's Ghost Protocol. I mean, the end part of the film was shot in Vancouver, but I think the film overall is a lot better. You know, it has some of the craziest stunts that I think any movie has ever done. They for those of you who don't know that Tom Cruise actually was on the side of the building. I still think that's crazy, and then they just kept on upping the ante with each subsequent installment. So I mean, yeah. I'm excited to see where this franchise continues to go. So.
Yeah, for sure. I'll quickly mention that I actually put X-Men Last Stand seated higher than Elf.
Really?
Just a fun fact. Yeah, I did. Only because I know the X-Men, all the X-Men movies, well, most of them at least, were somewhat decent.
Yeah.
Except maybe like Dark Phoenix, I knew for sure, and Apocalypse wasn't that good. But yeah, that was one of the films I thought maybe was okay, but apparently not. All right. Last matchup for this side of the bracket, we have Tomorrowland, directed by Brad Bird, and Power Rangers, the 2017 version.
You see, both of these movies didn't do so well at the box office and with critics, so they were both seemingly pretty average. So this actually makes it hard to decide.
Yeah.
I actually have not seen the Power Rangers movie. I have not seen Tomorrowland either, so I think this decision is up to you, buddy.
Yeah. I haven't seen Tomorrowland. I do love Brad Bird's animated movies, especially his first two, Ratatouille, Incredibles. I think Ratatouille might be my favorite animated film, maybe. Definitely, well, I don't know, but definitely one of my favorite Pixars, maybe my favorite Pixar. But that being said, I did find some charm in the Power Rangers, even though the story's a little bit dumb, but it kind of had a fun, like, high school thing to it going on, so I think I'm going to give it to Power Rangers. Personally, I see it higher, so I'm gonna fulfill that.
Let's give it to it then. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the next matchup. So, next round we got Okja and Power Rangers. I think this is again pretty obvious for us. This is definitely Okja.
Yep.
Again, I found some charm in the high school part, but Okja is a much better done film. Next we got War for the Planet of the Apes and Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol.
Ooh, I've actually seen.
Personally, I haven't. Well, I haven't seen either, so it's up to you, Aiden.
I mean, this one's a tough one. I think War for the Planet of the Apes, while it does have a lot of great action scenes, they're perfectly executed, but like it's also very subtle in the way that it deals with like character development. Like there's not a ton of dialogue, right? Because most of the movie is populated by ape characters, right? There's very few humans actually in the cast as humans.
Right.
So, I mean, I think, and as much as I love the stunts in Ghost Protocol, I think I got to give it to War for the Planet of the Apes, to be completely honest with you.
All right.
One of the best trilogies ever, easily. The new reboot trilogy, and to think that people had doubts about it when it was first announced, it's crazy.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought you were going to give it to Mission Impossible. I was about to like say, whoa, bracket breaker, but
yeah, no, I can't do it to him,
All right, next we got Deadpool and Elf. Again, haven't really seen either of these. I've probably seen parts of Elf and parts of Deadpool, but I think you've seen both.
Yeah,
so
I've seen
I
both
think
in
again,
entirety.
this is you.
Yeah, I've seen Elf like about 1,000 times. I mean, every Christmas, right? So I mean, Mom always wants to watch it. I think Deadpool is it's incredibly meta. Like I love all the action sequences as well. Like the CGI in some areas is a little bit off considering but it's acceptable because of how small the budget was, right? But I mean, I don't know. I think Elf may be the better movie. I think we should give it to him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, surprisingly.
That's that. There's the bracket buster there.
Yeah.
All right. Last we got Cabin in the Woods and Wonder. It's our last matchup for the quarterfinals.
I think it's gotta be Cabin in the Woods.
I think so. I might watch Cabin in the Woods and have to argue that, but based on what I've heard, it will be Cabin in the Woods. So I'm gonna put it ahead. I might have to argue that another time, but
yeah.
Let's put it ahead. All right, we got our semifinals, so two of these films will be in our final watch series for determining the best Canadian region for films. We got Okja and Cabin in the Woods.
Yep.
All right, I think Okja. Like I love Okja. I think it's very well done. I don't think the story is the best thing in the world, but what they're able to do with that large CGI creature is a lot more impressive than I've seen in most films. It's very exciting, and while Jake Gyllenhaal kind of sucks in it, he's way too much. All the other actors are pretty good.
Okay, well, I'm actually going to go in the opposite direction. I think Cabin in the Woods is better, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So now we got to do a tiebreaker thing, which is, of course, check out the Rotten Tomatoes score or some other critical website that's probably not that, so let's see.
Well, since you said Rotten Tomatoes, let's do Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
I will look up my movie, you look up yours. Alright, I've got mine.
Oh, you're right, actually, Cabin in the Woods is 2011. I got that wrong. Okay, what was yours?
86.
86 on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yep.
Mine was 92.
Alright, well, the critics have spoken, the tomato meter has spoken.
Yeah.
We're gonna put Cabin in the Woods ahead. I'm a little sad, but...
Yeah, it's unfortunate. What are you gonna do, though? Yeah. All right.
All right. Yeah, I had Okja seeded first. It's kind of sad to not see it go through. Upset.
Oh,
yeah, it's definitely a lot more upsets than our last Ontario round. There we had a 1, 2, 3, and 1 seed go through. So
yeah, I think if while we're on that subject, I feel like, is it just me, or do you feel like there's like more critical darlings that were filmed in like Toronto, and there's more like bigger blockbusters filmed in Vancouver?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think there's like some indies that like need the tax cuts, so they go to Toronto when they're being filmed in like New York or Detroit, but cheaper to go, just not too far up to Toronto.
Yeah, of course.
All right, next we got Elf and War for the Planet of the Apes. I haven't seen either of these. I don't have any stakes.
It's War for the Planet.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, no need to talk about that, I guess. All right, so for our 2 BC films so far, we have War for the Planet of the Apes and Cabin in the Woods, which is, I think, somewhat good because it'll force me to watch Cabin in the Woods and see my opinion on it, because I think I need opinion on that thing.
Honestly, I would give the edge to War for the Planet of the Apes, to be honest with you.
We're not putting them up against.
Oh, we're not gonna do that.
Yet.
Oh yeah, my bad.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, I forgot about that. Shit, my fault. Yeah. Right,
that's fine.
Now we're doing the other half of the bracket, aren't we?
We are. Let me clear off the board so I have some space to keep track of all this stuff. This will take a lot less time than once, because I don't have to. I'm not trying to write an entire bracket again. I've given up on that.
Fair enough. I got you. Yeah.
All right. Let's start off with the first one. We got Juno and Fantastic Four, the 2005 edition.
Really? I thought that was filmed in Toronto. I may be wrong there, because my source was Wikipedia, but I mean...
Yeah. Well, my sources were Wikipedia for most of this, so I don't know. I might have wrote it down wrong. I might have lost some stuff, but anyways, which one do we think?
The 2005 Fantastic Four movie is not very good. I don't think we can put it through.
Yeah. Have you seen Juno, though?
I have not seen Juno, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about it. I still need to watch that one.
It's very good. It's good. I don't know about the best, but I definitely like Juno a lot better.
Yeah.
All right, next we have the 50 Shades franchise versus Edge of 17.
Nope.
Have you seen Edge of 17? I know you don't need to hear it, but I just wanted to ask first, have you seen Edge of 17?
I have not seen Edge of 17. I've also heard good things about it, and I do love Haley Steinfeld, both as a musician and as an actor. I think she's multi-talented. I think she's fantastic, so, yeah.
All right, yeah, for sure. We're going to put Edge of 17 through. All right, next we have... My handwriting is failing me. Oh, no. What did I write? Oh,
what did you write?
I'm not sure. So there was... I put Jumanji here. Apparently small parts of it were shot in Vancouver.
Yep.
And I cannot for the life of me read what the heck I wrote down.
Put it up to the camera. Maybe I can take a look.
I don't know. It's the number 6 one. I don't know if you can see it.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck?
Yeah.
That is some serious chicken scratch.
Yeah, that was not great. Let me see if I put a clear writing of this thing down. Alright, I got it. It was Watchmen.
Oh, Watchmen. I mean, and the other one was...
Jumanji.
Jumanji. Oh, wait, was this the first
Small
one?
Small parts of it. It was the first one, yeah.
Ooh, I think it's a tough one. I mean, like, Jumanji obviously has the great, Robin Williams, rest in peace, obviously, but I mean, like, it holds a special place in a lot of children's hearts, right? And I mean, like, but Watchmen was also a very polarizing movie that a ton of people love and a ton of people hate.
Right.
There's not a lot of in the middle, even though I am about it. And I do remember Jumanji being very fun, but at the same time, it was also a very depressing kids movie, which is a bit strange. This is a tough one, actually. Have you seen either of these?
I haven't seen... I've seen Jumanji, I think, in the past. It's not very fresh in my mind at all. I haven't seen Watchmen. I heard the series, though, was very good. The limited series they did for HBO with Regina King. Abdul-Mateen, apparently very good. Got a lot of Emmy attention.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. It's up to you.
I think we should give it to Jumanji, honestly. I mean, like, Watchmen, it was okay. I mean, like, it was a very stylistic, epic film. It was a bit like, 300. right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Zack Snyder is another director who is filmed a lot of films in Canada.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Anyways,
Yeah.
all right. Next we got Insomnia, the Christopher Nolan movie,
Yep.
and Child's Play, the Chucky reboot thing in 2019.
Really? You don't
The 2019
say.
version.
I
Yeah.
had no idea that was filmed there. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Oof. This is a tough
I
one.
haven't seen
actually-
either.
I haven't
Have you seen both?
I haven't seen either as well.
Okay. Well,
It's Christopher Nolan. It's bound to
it's
be.
Christopher Nolan. It's apparently one of his weaker movies, but I think it's bound to be better than a
But
Chucky.
even weak Christopher Nolan is still pretty solid. I mean,
It's still pretty solid, yeah.
like
for
Tenet
sure.
was a confusing mess, yeah, but I still loved it. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Still very exciting to watch.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Star Trek Beyond and Deadpool 2.
I gotta give that one to Star Trek. I mean, like, I like Deadpool 2, but I mean, like, it felt like it was a bit too meta. You know, like, they made too many
Right.
meta jokes. Like, I get that's
Right.
his character. I get Deadpool as this meta guy who knows he's in, like, a
Mhm.
comic book film, but at the same time, there's a fine line between that and, like, you
Right.
know, actually doing something
Stupidity.
different. And they kind of did all
Right,
the same
yeah.
superhero tropes that they were making fun of, but yeah.
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 Do you like have you seen Star Trek? What do you think of
Yeah,
it?
I actually quite like the reboot series. I mean, like, a lot of people give like the previous one, Into Darkness, a lot of crap because it's like, you know, not Zod, sorry, Khan's super blood that brings, you know, Chris Pine back to life. But I mean, like,
Right.
it really wasn't that bad. I mean, like, there are worse things that I've seen on film. I mean, it was
Yeah.
a solid movie, to be honest. I quite
All
liked
right.
it. Yeah.
All right, very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I hadn't seen either. All right, next we got 300 and the To All the Boys movies. Very different movie. Very different.
Very
movies.
different. My God.
Very different. Yeah.
Spartans
for sure.
and then
Very
moody
different.
teenagers with multi-ethnic
Yeah.
backgrounds for diversity
Mhm.
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I have seen To All the Boys I've Ever Loved. I'm sort of ashamed of that, but it wasn't that bad. And like I've definitely seen worse.
I'll just say it. I like it. I definitely.
Yeah.
The first film's very solid. I think it's
Yeah.
it's a very standard romantic comedy. A couple of different modern quirks in there
Yeah.
that aren't too bad. And like honestly, if you do it I'm always cool for some diversity, especially some Asian diversity. I'm very
Yeah.
keen to that. It was cool to see that. I haven't seen 300. I'm gonna assume from what I've seen and
It's
heard,
a stylistic film. It's not really that story.
Apparently, they all exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I personally would give it to All the Boys. I don't know if you want to join me on that train.
No, I mean, like, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I can't believe I'm saying that. But then again, I mean, like, 300, like, once you look past the visuals, I actually almost fell asleep watching it, to be honest. I don't know how, but yeah, I fell asleep watching that film. It just didn't do it for me, you know? But I did love that movie.
Yeah.
I did love the other one. It was very sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Sonic the Hedgehog movie and Rocky 4.
Rocky 4.
Yeah.
My God.
Apparently, so the specific scene is the boxing match itself.
Oh,
It
there
was
you go.
filmed in Vancouver.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I saw it a really long time ago, but I mean, like, after the first Rocky movie, aside from the Creed films, obviously, the sequels haven't been as good, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I think we might have to give this Sonic the Hedgehog. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but yeah.
Alright.
Who thought that movie would be good? I mean, like, at least decent. I mean, like...
Rocky
like,
4?
No, I'm talking about, like, Sonic the Hedgehog, because people were clowning on it before it came out,
Right.
and they changed the
Yeah.
design. Thank God.
Okay, wait. I'm thinking about this a little more. I kind of want to put ahead Rocky 4 instead.
Well,
'Cause,
what are
like-
your thoughts? I'm interested.
Okay, yeah. So, like, while Rocky 4 obviously pretty much follows the exact same trope, I think it's where the series kind of took its most bold turn. Like, it killed a character.
Yeah.
It hadn't done that before in the other three movies, obviously.
Yeah.
Because it's not really ones like you expect people to die, really. But I think that was a very bold turn. And while it's, very much America versus Russia kind of
Yeah, it
put
was
into
very-
a box in that way, very much kind of American propaganda. I think its training montage is very cool. I think the fight scenes are pretty well done.
Endlessly quotable.
And and I think it's very quotable. It's entertaining, and it kind of, if you think about it, it set up Creed.
Yeah, that is
It's
true.
what
actually.
set
I
up
will give you
Creed.
that,
So you
yeah.
kind of got to give it a little bit of credit for that.
All right, fuck it. I'll change my vote.
All right.
I'll let
right.
Rocky 4 go.
I've done
through.
it.
Just because
I-
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Sonic the Hedgehog. Apparently, it's like a fun enough kids movie, but
yeah. But apparently, there's a lot of like awkward product placement in it as well. Like they're talking about Zillow like it's a commercial. So I mean,
okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
A couple last things. So we got Blade and I think Dark Phoenix. Yeah, that's what I have. It's my last.
Well,
last
definitely
two
Blade because Dark Phoenix was shit. And
all right.
yeah, Blade wasn't that bad. Yeah,
what was the worst part of Dark Phoenix? I haven't seen it.
All of it, dude. It was just such a mess. Like they really dropped the ball. Like too many reshoots, and they gave everything away in the trailer. Like I hate when movies do that. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. Like we were already like over on time, but like if I get started, I'm not gonna be able to stop. So yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think To All the Boys kind of did that in the trailer for the third. I watched those movies because they're dumb and stupid, and you can make fun of them, but anyways.
Yeah, they're still.
It kind of did that. I was a little disappointed, but anyways, Juno and Blade is our matchup for the quarterfinals, and I think Juno, for sure. I think you can say that confidently. Edge of 17 and Rocky 4.
Edge of 17.
Edge of 17, yeah, for sure. I think they're not too far off for me. They're not too that far apart for me, but I think Edge of 17 is a better acted, better well done movie. Jumanji and To All the Boys. Like I don't know. I just want to keep pushing ahead To All the Boys because I kind of like the first film. I kind of want to push it ahead.
I have to agree with you.
And like I don't feel like I have a little bit of love. I don't really have much love for. Yeah, all right. Let's put it To All the Boys ahead.
It's actually one of the better Netflix rom-coms. Like the other ones are pretty bad to be honest.
Compared to The Kissing Booth, it's like Citizen Kane, right?
Oh my god! Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
On Kissing Booth.
All right, let's not get into that. Insomnia and Star Trek Beyond. Are we giving credit to Nolan alone? Do you think this mediocre Nolan film would be better than what you saw in Star Trek?
Star Trek Beyond was good, but I mean, I feel like Nolan movies, whether they're like kind of mediocre, they always have some sort of lasting impression on you. So I mean, like I think we might have to give it to Insomnia. I mean, like, cause honestly, I can barely remember some of the plot points of Star Trek Beyond. Like, not to say that it was bad, but it was just like it's
not
like
very
one of the
memorable.
Marvel movies that it's like the first Ant-Man. Like, can you really remember what happens in that movie?
They fight Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, well, there's that, right? But I mean, like, it's not like plot structure-wise. Can you really remember
Edgar Wright?
everything?
No. Edgar Wright was supposed to direct it. Those are the two things I remember.
Yeah. See, like that, it's like a big, non-offensive, crowd-pleasing, box office juggernaut, right?
Edgar Wright should have directed that movie. Would have been so good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into our semifinals. Pretty much our finals because we are taking two movies from here: Juno and Insomnia. So neither of us have seen either of these movies. I think I'm gonna have to put ahead Juno. I put it in the first seed for a reason.
Yeah, let's give it to it.
Yeah, we'll give it to Juno. Even though I don't know, it might be more worth it to put Insomnia since we both haven't seen it. I don't know. There is that approach and like I don't think Juno might hit. I don't know. It might really hit with you. Like it was like. It's a good movie. It won Best Original Screenplay, so it definitely has the accolades.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll do Juno. I think you could really enjoy Juno.
No, I
so make sure you watch that for this. Edge of 17, To All the Boys. This is where my To All the Boys train will stop. I will give it to the Edge of 17. I have seen both these movies. Edge of 17 is definitely a more ambitious film. Definitely a better made film, better acted film.
Yeah.
There is some story stuff in The Edge of 17 I didn't love too much, but I think The Edge of 17 is definitely a more honest high school movie. So yes, this was really the high school. Like out of the four semifinalists, they were all high school movies: Juno, Edge of 17,
To
All the Boys.
There's a lot of high school movies like filmed in Vancouver. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess their schools are easy to rent. I guess I don't know.
Probably
use. Who knows? All right. Anyways, I'll add that to the list. Definitely different from the films we had on the other side of our bracket from War, Planet of the Apes and Planet of the Apes. Whenever you're ready.
Alright, so we are back at it today with the provincial best film, like I guess being shot bracket.
Yeah.
I guess that's the name for it. Not really, but
I guess so. Best films shot in Canada.
Yeah.
Brackets. We divide them up by divisions. Right now we're going to do the Western Division, which is like Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, those provinces.
Yep.
So let's get started. First we have The Revenant and Legends of Fall. So I actually don't know what Legends of Fall is really. I just kind of found out on Wikipedia.
No idea about it either.
No idea what it is. We'll just go ahead, put The Revenant ahead. Can safely say that's a better film. Next we have Unforgiven, a Best Picture winner in 1992, I believe.
Yeah.
And against Cool Runnings, the movie about the Jamaican bobsled team.
As much
have
as
you
I
seen
love
that?
Cool Runnings, yeah,
Okay.
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun, but at the same time, I mean, like, if you got a Best Picture like nominee, then I mean, you may have to give it the edge there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cool Runnings. Great film though. True story.
Filmed
but...
in Calgary at the Olympic Stadium, so
yeah.
it's the primary reason why they used it. Next we have Capote, that stars Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Shanghai Noon with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson.
Really?
Yeah.
What the heck is Shanghai Noon? I mean, I know what Capote is about. It's about Truman Capote, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've just never seen it. So this one's actually a bit trickier.
Have you never seen Capote?
No, I've never seen Capote. I haven't seen Shanghai Noon
It
either.
has pretty good accolades. Shanghai Noon was more of a like dumb comedy.
Okay,
I
well
mean,
then let's give it to
So I think we're gonna give it to Capote,
yeah.
especially since Philip Seymour Hoffman kind of he won an Oscar for that, so there's something behind it. Next we have Cinderella. Parts of the Cinderella remake in 2015 were shot in the Western area, as well as Jesse James and the assassination by the coward Robert Ford.
I heard that was a really good movie.
Apparently, it was a very good movie. Roger Deakins' cinematography is very unique in that film, in particular. That's why I know it from. Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen the Cinderella movie? If you have any, I don't know if you
that's
have any thoughts on that.
Which
2015.
The remake?
Lily James, version.
I heard it was good, but I mean, like, I don't know. It just, I don't think it hasn't really like stood the test of time. Like, people don't really talk about it anymore. And I mean, like, you know, the other one I heard was really good, even though like not so many people talk about it like anymore. But I mean, I think we might have to give it to the one with the extremely long title. I think that was the only drawback. Like, a lot of people like didn't understand why the title was so long.
That is, the title is really long, and I mean, it kind of spells out the entire film. Alright, I kind of put this at a too low C, but I kind of forgot it was even here. That's my fault. So we have Brokeback Mountain and Superman 2.
Yeah, I think this one's pretty easy.
I think this one's also pretty easy. Have you
Superman 2? Though,
like, I've never seen any of the original like Superman movies. I don't know if you have.
No, I've seen bits and pieces of them, but I mean, no, I did know that that the second one was filmed in Calgary, because you see the Calgary Tower in a lot of like shots. It's pretty interesting, actually. Yeah.
Alright, cool. Yeah. Next we have the first Superman and Born Legacy.
Ooh.
Part
really?
of
Born Legacy was...
Part of it, at least, was shot in the Western area, apparently.
Yeah, it must have been that whole, like, cabin scene, I guess. Interesting. Okay, well...
I haven't seen either, so I think this is kind of up to you.
Oof. I mean, Born Legacy was average, to be honest. I mean, like, they kind of just did a retread of all the other movies, so I think we should give it to the other one, to be honest. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. Do that. So we're gonna give it to Superman?
Yeah, give it to Superman, man. I think Superman's influence on, like, popular culture cannot be denied, right? I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Alright. Next we have Interstellar.
Yep.
And Jumanji Next Level. I think this is also pretty easy. I don't know. Have you seen Jumanji Next Level? Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's okay. It's really not that good, but I mean, like, I think Interstellar was obviously the way better film. It's confusing as hell at some points, but at the same, like, once you've deciphered it, like, it's actually brilliant. I loved it. Especially
I don't know if I call it brilliant. The end, like everything makes sense up to like the ending.
No, the ending, yeah.
The connection is love, which is a little like dumb, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
what are you gonna do?
Let's put Interstellar through. I was hesitant to include these on the list, Interstellar, and then our next couple. Well, the next one, Inception, only because not too much of it was shot in Canada. Only parts of it were. Anyways, it's going up against the some of the Chucky sequels. There was, I don't remember the exact names of them. I think this is pretty easy for me.
Yeah, let's move on from that. Yeah.
Alright, so let's put the Inception ahead. So here's where it comes kind of conflicting. Our next matchup would be The Revenant and Inception. Do you have an opinion on this, Aiden?
Oh, I've seen both these films. Honestly, I like Inception a lot more, to be honest.
You like which one?
I like Inception more. I kind of felt like, obviously, like, The Revenant is, like, it's a brilliant film, you know, like, it's Leonardo DiCaprio's, like, it's the culmination of all his work. He finally got to win an Oscar for this one. Definitely deserved it. It was very good cinematography as well. I think that's something that we can both agree about there. But I mean, like,
yeah, for sure.
At the same time, it was a very Oscar baity film. I know it deserved the awards, but I just think it was only really made to win an Oscar, man. I don't really think Inception was doing that, because it's like a big blockbuster film that just happens to be brilliant as well. I mean, I don't know, and that's why it won the awards. But yeah, I just personally like Inception better.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I like these films about the same. I don't know if I could. I'd have to watch them both again to get a definitive opinion.
Yeah.
However, the reason I'm going to say The Revenant is, one, I don't really think it was Oscar bait. I don't see the Oscar bait much. Like, no one thinks to win an Oscar, I'm going to go to Canada, film in the freezing cold, torture my actors for, like,
I mean,
a whole shoot, and as well as, like, do these massive, like,
I'll tell you why.
The scale of the film is very good. And, the story part wasn't the best.
That's why.
But I don't think that's the point. I don't think that's the point, though. It's a very simple story that kind of guides you through the wilderness and this man just trying to survive, right?
Yeah, it did kind of seem like that just because of the story, but I mean, like, you know, we have differing opinions on that, I guess.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's not like it's not an egregious Oscar bait. It's like just a little bit more subtle. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd say is that a lot more of The Revenant was shot in Canada than Inception. Only a small part of Inception was shot in Canada,
in that,
while the majority
of
Revenant. So we could go to the online metric.
No, I mean,
if you
like,
think that for Canada's sake, do you want to put The Revenant ahead?
You know, I think we should, actually. Yeah, I think that would make more sense, you know? Yeah.
All right.
As much as I love Inception, and actually, it would have beaten The Revenant on the tomato meter. I actually happen to know that, but I mean, yeah, I think for the purposes of this list, it has to be The Revenant.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, so, The Revenant will be one of our films going to the final. Everything after this is going to be in the Western films that we watch for the overall thing we'll do later. So next we have Unforgiven and Interstellar. So again, this is going to be kind of difficult because both of us have seen Interstellar, we like it, but neither of us have seen Unforgiven, even though it is Best Picture winner, Best Screenplay, didn't win Director. It was directed by Clint Eastwood.
Really?
It's a very on and off director. He's won, so he's directed a couple of Best Picture winners. He's been in some obviously very classic movies, very influential movies.
Yeah, but then
at the same time, he's also done some stuff that people have considered garbage.
1517 in Paris, anyone? God.
Yeah, apparently I heard that's bad. I haven't seen it, but as well. And then on the other side, we have Interstellar, a movie that we both like. I think we both have problems with. Again, like Inception, not a ton of it was shot in Canada. Only specifically, I think the cornfield area, the cornfield scene, the house were set in Canada. Most of the rest of the film, the space stuff was done in a studio. The planets, I think, were done in Iceland and a couple other places.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I mean,
this is tough.
Well, if Unforgiven, I think if more of Unforgiven was shot in Canada, we may have to give it to that. I think that's a deciding factor there.
I think that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. It also gives us a chance to see a film that we haven't seen already.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, for this thing. Alright. Next we got Capote and Superman. I don't know how strongly you feel about Superman. Capote, again, apparently wasn't the strongest film. The strongest thing apparently is Philip Seymour Hoffman's performance. It's still a very good movie, though.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. So, I don't know.
I mean, I don't remember a ton about the first Superman movie. I've seen, like I said, bits and pieces, right? But I also haven't seen any of Capote. I've just heard of it, but I don't know, man. You seem to know more about Capote, so I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to see Capote, so that's kind of the reason. More than I want to see Superman, so I think for that reason, I kind of want to put it ahead.
Capote, it is.
All right. Our last matchup, and our last. This is maybe the hardest. I don't know, potentially. So we got Jesse James and Brokeback Mountain. Again, I think this is like the Interstellar Unforgiven situation. We've both seen Brokeback Mountain. Neither of us have seen Jesse James' assassination.
I actually haven't seen Brokeback Mountain. Did I tell you?
Oh, you haven't?
No,
I didn't. I thought you brought it up that like it lost a crash like at least 2 times on the podcast that I thought you had seen.
Oh yeah, I know, but everyone knows.
You just know it. You just know of it.
Yeah,
right?
But I mean, like,
yeah, no.
Yeah, just
okay,
the content.
Honestly, like, I think which film do you want to see more? Like, I don't know if you
honestly, bro, I really want to see Brokeback Mountain.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So. Yeah. I sort of want to see Jesse James. I definitely, I'm always down for Roger Deakins' cinematography movie, honestly. But, we'll do Brokeback Mountain. Give me a chance to maybe revisit some parts of it. I don't know if I'll watch the whole thing since I've already seen it, but I don't know. Still very, very good film. Ang Lee, very good director. Alright, so our 4 films for the Western Division are that we'll be watching or have already watched, but we'll be discussing next time to figure out which region has the best films is The Revenant, Unforgiven, Capote, and Brokeback Mountain. Pretty much in the order that I seeded them, except for Brokeback Mountain. I put it, but that's mostly because I forgot it was even on the list for some reason until I added it later. But anyways, I'll write those down, and then I will erase the board, and we'll get into our Quebec category, which has some pretty good movies. So. Get into that in a second. Just let me. Give me some space to write, and then we should be good to go. Alright. Here's the list. Alright, let's start. So this is a repeated film that I forgot was part. I knew it was on the list, and I totally forgot where it was, but so I added it into our BC film list. I don't know if, so anyways, I'll just get into it. So first I have Mommy, a film by Xavier Dolan, I don't know if you've heard of it, and Dark Phoenix, so
easy.
I think this is easily Mommy. Again, we kind of briefly discussed Dark Phoenix about how it's bad, and how I asked if what's bad, and you said everything. So we'll definitely put Mommy ahead, we can discuss that a little more later.
Yeah.
Next we have Arrival and On the Basis of Sex. That movie stars Rashida Jones. Apparently received mixed reviews. Again, I think this is pretty easy. Arrival is a very good movie.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen Arrival, right?
Yeah, I've seen Arrival.
It's great.
It's great. Yeah.
Great film. All right, let's put Arrival through. Next we got Life of Pi and Get Smart. Again, I don't know if have you seen Get Smart?
I've seen both of them actually. Yeah.
Anne Hathaway, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's Anne Hathaway, Steve Carell, The Rock, Alan Arkin. It's a pretty good comedic cast. I mean, like, it was a funny movie, but I mean. I feel like Life of Pi, like, I think just, I don't know, it got more critical praise. I mean, like, it's actually, I think it's a brilliant film, like, the way everything's shot. Like, story structure, it's, like, not the strongest, but I mean, like, it's certainly interesting.
I think it's like The Revenant, though, in that way, right? It's a director movie about, it's like one Best Director about a person trying to survive in a different environment, right?
Yeah.
I think both of them do very good jobs with that. The CG on the line is also very good, right? Sorry, the Tiger.
Tiger, yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll put Life of Pi ahead. Next, we got Incendie, another film by Denis Villeneuve. There's definitely a few of these. And then we got X-Men Apocalypse.
This one's pretty easy too. X-Men Apocalypse.
Again, pretty easy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, X-Men Apocalypse wasn't that good. Incendie is a very good movie. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you?
No, I have not. I think one of like Denis Villeneuve's earlier films that like I've seen is probably like Polytechnique. Do you know about that one?
Yeah, I've seen Polytechnique. It is on this list. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Next we have the Oscar-nominated Brooklyn. starring Saoirse Ronan, and then we have the Charlie Kaufman-written Confessions of a Dangerous Man. So I don't know. Have you seen either of these?
I've not seen Brooklyn. I haven't seen either of them actually. Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
So I've seen Brooklyn. I haven't seen Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. It's apparently I think it's one of Kaufman's weaker scripts from most critical reception.
Yep.
It was directed by George Clooney. I think it was his directorial debut, I believe. And he's made some okay stuff. I don't think he's made anything that's truly been Oscar worthy, even though I think he has gotten a nomination. I'm not sure. I have to double check.
Yeah.
But I think for sure I want to put Brooklyn ahead for this category.
All right, sounds good. I agree.
All right.
I'm fine with that.
Next we have Mother, the Darren Aronofsky film, and Catch Me If You Can, the 2002 Steven Spielberg film.
I think this one should be pretty easy for me. I think Catch Me If You Can is better than Mother. I think Mother is just way too out there for the masses. That's why it didn't do very well with the audience. That's why it got a very polarized critical reception. And from the bits and pieces I've seen of it, it just looks... It's the similar sort of like biblical like themes that you saw in like, well, obviously like in the film Noah, which actually deals directly with an incident from the Bible. But I mean, yeah, I don't know why it's so odd. I mean, I don't. It seems really strange, man. I don't know if you've heard anything about it, but.
Yeah, so the reason I'm a little hesitant to put ahead, one, I kind of really want to see Mother. I've been interested in seeing it for a little bit. I've gotten some recommendations from like YouTube and other stuff like that to see it. As well as Catch Me If You Can didn't film a ton in Montreal. It was mainly I don't know if I'm assuming you've seen the movie. I'm pretty sure you have, right?
Yeah.
If you remember the scenes where he's in like France and the factory stuff and the look of France they used like old Quebec for that. Old Montreal.
Shit, okay, well, I mean, yeah.
So there is that argument that and Mother was, since it's only, I'm pretty sure it only takes place in the one house for the most part, that pretty much all of it was shot in Canada, so I don't know, there is that debate, and I kind of do want to see Mother. And I didn't love Catch Me If You Can, I don't know, it's like an 8 out of 10. For me, which is still solid, of course, but I don't know, I kind of expected maybe a little more out of it, considering some of the reviews it's gotten.
Alright, fine. I'll bite.
Okay,
I'll buy your argument there, because, yeah, if it was filmed more in Canada, then we should probably give it the edge over Catch Me If You Can, even if Catch Me If You Can is a better film, so.
Alright.
Let's see. God, I'm gonna regret this, I know it.
Okay, next we have Enter the Void, directed by Gaspar Noé. And The Notebook, starring Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. So I haven't seen either of these. If you had to ask me which one, you've seen The Notebook.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
It's an iconic romantic film, man. Like, you know, for all the faults it has, I mean, like, you still got the charming, you know, lead performances, right? And I mean, it's a great love story. And I don't know, it was one of the first romantic comedy I actually like watched and unironically enjoyed. So I mean, I haven't seen the other ones, so I mean, like, maybe it would be nice to check that out. I mean, like, I haven't heard too much about it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so apparently about half of it was shot in Montreal. The other half was shot mostly in Tokyo. This film, Enter the Void, is very much a stylized film. Gaspar Noé is very much known for very intense, fast camera movement, extreme colored lighting, very in-your-face type of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Because Enter the Void is supposed to be from the perspective of like someone who's dead, and you're just following people around, right? So in the beginning of the film, someone dies, and then you're just following his soul, like wandering around Tokyo, looking at other things that are going on.
Interesting.
So I don't know. If you had to ask me which I'm more excited to see, I'd definitely say Enter the Void. I've heard The Notebook, obviously being a classic. I've heard of it. But I heard from more critical people that it's not the best thing and maybe doesn't deserve all the attention it's gotten, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would be interested in checking Enter the Void out. I mean, like, I've never heard of it before. It sounds interesting, so I'm down if you want to move on.
Yeah, alright, let's move it forward. Alright. Next we have Days of Future Past, X-Men Days of Future Past, and Polytechnique. The last two.
Ooh. See, this one's a little bit more tricky. Because
Yeah,
I did like.
I think I know what I'd pick. I don't know. I'd pick Polytechnique. The first, like, I enjoyed Days of Future Past. It's been a while since I've seen it. I've definitely seen Polytechnique closer. But I think it definitely is it's a polarizing film, I think, Polytechnique, and I think in a good way almost, because it kind of looks at a side of school like shootings that most people aren't willing to confront, I think. And I think Denis Villeneuve's bravery to do that, because like most most recent thing I can think of involving shooting is the short film If Anything Happens I Love You, which mostly focuses on the aftermath of the parents' grief and kind of them being separating from each other because of the tragedies happening in their lives. Well, this film takes a direct look at why a person would do something like that. Most people think that like you shouldn't focus on the killer in something like a school shooting, right? I think Denis Villeneuve does something very takes a very large chance by looking at a lot at the actual shooter and why he did the things that he did, what his like how from the report, giving the most accurate depiction he can by doing it from the perspective of the shooter, by showing closest to what he knows happened based on all the reports and information he could gather, as well as the impact it had on the survivors as well. And I think it's a very deep look into some of the surviving people, especially that one who, since you've seen the film, I'll spoil it a little bit, that the one that who commits suicide because he felt guilty that he couldn't help save the women who were told to stay in the classroom.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I do agree with you there. It was a very interesting take to, focus on the killer. I mean, like you said, they don't normally do that sort of stuff. Like, it's like if they made, like, a 9/11 film, but, like, focused on the
from
terrorists.
The perspective of the terrorists, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a very bold step, and I think it works, right? I don't think it gets too... Well, like, it doesn't sacrifice the impact or the victims in favor of the killer. It just shows what the killer did, why he did it, and how that impacted the people directly. Like, the only reason why that man specifically killed himself is because he felt guilty that he wasn't part of the group of women. He they basically just let the women die. He didn't do anything, right? And that wouldn't have never happened if the killer's motivation was just to kill people, right?
Yeah.
He takes a very specific thing and explores it deeply, and I think that's, while it's not the greatest film in the world, I think it's good. It's a good film, and I think it's maybe a little more important than people are willing to admit.
No, fair enough. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like, as much as I love, Days of Future Past, I mean, it's probably one of the stronger X-Men films. I mean, I think this film deals with a more, like, interesting subject matter. So, I mean, I think we should let it move on, All
right.
Yeah.
Input Polytechnique. Alright. Next we got Mommy and Polytechnique. So like I said, I spoke a lot about Polytechnique just now, and now I'm going to have to advocate against it. Because Mommy, I think you really need to see this film. It's a very unique thing. Xavier Dolan is a very young director. I think he's only like 29, 26. He's already done like 5-6 films. And while not all of them have apparently been excellent, this is his best one. And he creates this energy with his actors and his script that I don't think I've seen in anything. And while it doesn't feel like the most cohesive story, every scene feels like almost its own short film in a way, but it does like follow, like it's not incomprehensible. It does create a very special atmosphere in nearly every single scene, so I think it's very much worth checking out.
Alright, well, yeah, no, I'd be interested in seeing that. Let's go. Moving on.
Alright, let's put Mommy in. Next we got Arrival and Enter the Void. Again, I would want to, like, if you ask me, I kind of actually, there is a lot, even though I've already seen Arrival, there is a lot of, I think there is some stuff that brings me more to rewatch it just as much as I want to watch for the first time Enter the Void.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Like, I haven't seen Arrival in, like, a couple of years now. I don't think I've seen it since it came out. It's been a while. So, yeah, it would be nice to revisit it. I do remember liking it a lot. But
yeah, it's been about a year. And I also watched it on my laptop, so I figure I should at least watch it on my TV, even though obviously it should deserve that theater experience. But I'll put Arrival ahead. Next we have Life of Pi and Mother. So, I don't know. This is, again, I think I don't know. I think I probably want to check out Mother a little more than I want to check out Life of Pi again.
Yeah, but we
While
also
Life of Pi was very good, it's
remember
very
the
much
point of this,
expected.
Because this
Which
is about not just films
the
we
best.
want to
See is the best. That's true.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I think there is some things, and of course it's our opinions of what is the best, and maybe...
I don't know, personally,
this
I
is
think
tough.
Life of Pi is better. You know, I mean, like, I'm really, like, I don't know, I'm really hesitant to watch Mother, because, I mean, like, every time I've watched a Darren Aronofsky film, I've left just feeling completely disturbed with what I've seen. With the exception of, like, ones I haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen Black Swan or Requiem for a Dream, but
yeah, you should for sure see Black... You should definitely see Black Swan.
Like, I've seen...
Probably,
like, Noah was the one that just turned me off of his filmmaking style, you know, the most. I think it just... It's just... There's so many things I want to say about it, but, like, we don't have enough time. It's just... It blew me away for all the wrong reasons. It made me feel very uncomfortable. Like, I know there's nothing wrong with a film making you feel uncomfortable about, like, a subject matter, right? But, like... I was uncomfortable about the stuff that, like, the imagery on the scene, like, I was seeing, like, there's a bunch of scenes where, like, babies get ripped apart and eaten. Like, what the hell? Like, that... Who, like, sits back and thinks that's, like, yes, I want to direct this? Like, I don't know. I just can't handle stuff like that when I watch it. I don't know why. It's really not for me.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I don't know. It might be that I think Darren Aronofsky is very much not your style, because... While Black Swan, I reckon for Dream could definitely be his better films. I don't know, Mother might be tossed in there potentially. For me, the only one I've seen is Black Swan, and it's very much one that, like, it uses a lot of sound effects and imagery to kind of get under your skin and kind of irritate you, but I think in a good way. I think in that way, it's like a more internal version of Whiplash in that way, because there's been a lot of comparisons between Whiplash and Black Swan, and it has, like... I don't know, he runs on pretty clear allegories for his films, like Black Swan, was a clear one, Mother, obviously, Garden of Eden.
Yep.
So I don't know. Anyways, we should, so Life of Pi or Mother, I mean...
we could,
do you want to do a critic toss-up? Just
I already know the critic toss-up, actually. I'm pretty sure Mother is at 68 and Life of Pi is at 85. So
for which meter?
Rotten Tomatoes, but I think the Metacritic score is also higher for Life of Pi than Mother. I could double check, but I'd have to.
I mean, that's probably true. So do you? We'll just put Life of Pi ahead.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. For sure. I'll check out Mother on my own time. Next, we got Insomnia in Brooklyn.
Yep.
This is pretty easy for me. You haven't seen either of these. I've seen both of them.
Yep.
I think I can safely say, well, Brooklyn, I'm surprised how much critical reception Brooklyn got, because it's such a simple story, and while it's very well acted, specifically by Saoirse Ronan, there's nothing, not a ton, and it's like has Oscar quality filmmaking.
Yep.
But it doesn't really do anything new, so I think Insomnia for sure.
Yeah, no, like I'd be
much more worthy
between
the two for this list. So. Alright, we got our final list now. So we got, for the Quebec category, Mommy, directed by Xavier Dolan, Arrival, directed by Denis Villeneuve, Life of Pi, directed by Ang Lee, and Incendie, directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Nice.
So that is our list for that. I'll quickly mention the Eastern region, even though it doesn't have enough films to actually... It does have a few films that are good enough to probably be considered, but probably not good enough to do a whole bracket for them. Those specifically two films would be Titanic and The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Also Aquaman. Apparently parts of it were shot in
Nova that's awesome.
Scotia, apparently. So
yeah, don't forget about you haven't seen this film. I saw it a very long time ago. It's Maudie. It's about Maud Lewis. She was an artist, and she spent most of her life in Nova Scotia. I think she was Canadian. I'm not entirely sure, but it has Ethan Hawke and Sally Hawkins in it. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess we'll include that on the list.
Yeah.
As well. So, all right. I think we got all our films. I'll quickly try to read them all out. I already named all the Quebec ones. I just named all the East Region ones. Just as a recap, we'll be doing from BC, Juno, Edge of 17, War for the Planet Apes, Cabin in the Woods. For the Ontario region, we'll be doing Shape of Water, Room, The Witch, and Scott Pilgrim.
Alright.
Yeah, I think that's all the. Oh, I forgot the Western region. We did just do that, but might as well mention it again. We'll be doing The Revenant, Unforgiven, Capote, and Brokeback Mountain.
Solid choices. Interesting how a lot of those involve like cowboys and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean it's the West, so you
makes sense. Yeah, fucking
Alberta.
Yeah.
Calgary Stampede.
Yeah, dude. I haven't been there in a while. I missed that though. That was a good place.
Yeah. That's the end to this very long video. Even if I divide it up,
parts. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens in the editing room. We'll do a video probably I'd say approximately a month, 3 weeks or so. Once we've seen all these films and have new thoughts on them to decide which region we think has produced the best movies that have been filmed in Canada. So, thank you so much for watching. This has been the GBDENG podcast doing a special episode that has turned into probably a movie length at this point, but I hope you enjoyed if you've gotten this far, even though you probably haven't. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow Aiden at GBD Reviews on Instagram. Make sure to go subscribe to my channel, Reviewing on YouTube. I'll be making sure to get more content out soon. By the time you're seeing this, I'm trying to think. Aiden will probably have a bunch of new reviews. I will probably have an Oscar predictions video.
Nice.
So
I actually need to do that as well because the Oscars are coming up pretty soon, eh?
Yeah, I've been doing them. I was also planning to do a 2022 one, actually.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll finish this outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to this point, you're the best in the world. You're amazing. We love you, and see you guys next time.
Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary folk. All right. Solid. Cool.